Hey everyone, Jewel back again with another cool astrology video. And today I'm continuing my Synastry series, and we're talking about partners Venus and other partners' third house. And what that's like and how that shows up, and a little bit about the dynamic between two people when we have this going on in Synastry. So Synastry is when we put two astrology charts together so we can see how two people interact, how they play off of each other when they have a relationship, and what the day-to-day interaction is. And it's different than a composite chart. That's a different series that I'll be working on shortly. Synastry really talks about, how we get along day to day and how we, it's a lot like, a permanent transit, how someone makes us feel and how we react to them. And it's like a transit that, is around all the time. People are affect us very much like that. So Venus is the planet of love, of attraction, of beauty, of our artistic nature, represents, of our values, what we value, money, sensuality, what we really, put our stock into. And the third house is the planet, or the house of communications, and, describes neighbors, short trips, all things, interactions that happen close to home, and, is our courage also, and our efforts, and mainly, in Synastry, it goes to communication between partners. And so when we have Venus here, this is where someone brings their sweetness to another person. Wherever Venus is. So this is one person bringing their artistic ability, their sweetness, their sensuality, what they value, into another person's third house of communications. So think romantic communication. This is a very graceful position to have between two people. This really stimulates the Venus person to communicate in almost a poetic way with the third house person. The house person really brings out the diplomacy in the way that the Venus person relates to them. And, there's a love of communication, and communication done with a lot of concern for each other's feelings. So it's a romantic cerebral placement, and you really do need to communicate in a relationship to have a successful relationship. So this is a position that actually is very desirable in Synastry, and can really go towards keeping two people together because they want to talk about things between them. It's not something, that they avoid. A lot of people, you'll see a couple, that's been together for a while and sitting together at a restaurant and nobody's saying anything. But with this position, there's always something to talk about because there's a lot of shared intellectual pursuits between these two people. They have a lot in common interest-wise, when it comes to how they think and what they're after. So there's, a sameness when it comes to, what they want to communicate about. And, Venus appreciates the way the house thinks, really admires their intellect, and the house person feels very, very much, like their abilities, their intellect is appreciated, and they love that, that really goes both ways in this relationship to make both partners feel smart in each other's presence. The downside to this placement is that there can be some avoiding or glossing over of issues that, will involve, negative or harsh communication. So, they're willing to talk about things, but not always the hard things, or the things that are not having to do with Venus, things having to do with like Mars or Saturn, or, they'll want to avoid this. So, they'll need to, make an effort to, talk about the ugly things in the relationship, because this is a relationship that's really more about communicating things of beauty. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel if you did. And you can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology, and on the internet at truthinAspectAstrology.com. I do consultation, and I specialize in partners and synastry and intimacy and love astrology. So I will be back soon with another cool video. Bye-bye.